Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today I'm going to be talking about Atossa Therapeutics, going with the ticker ATOS. Now this is the second video making an update, so hopefully today I'm going to be giving you a good update relating to this one, technical analysis, news, and what I think about this one. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So Atossa Therapeutics. Again, we talked about this one, so the last video is in the description below. Now, in terms of the latest news, there were actually a couple positive ones. Atossa Therapeutics receives approval from Swedish regulators to initiate a phase 2 clinical study of oral Endoxifen to reduce mammographic breast density. And then the next one was Atossa Therapeutics set to be included in the Russell 2000 and the Russell 3000 index, both which are bullish in that sense. And you take a look into the stock price and you see it plummeting. And the question is why? It dropped around almost 1609 just in a day, and from upper around like $8 down to 537. That is quite an extensive drop, probably closer to around 50% in that sense. And the quick thing that we start noticing is that, okay, the short float is 1368, but what is actually happening? And there's a very interesting thing that is happening. Take a look into the short interest or the short volume per day. And the volume itself, or the short volume itself, isn't that much compared to the previous days. You're looking into 9 million shares compared to the day before, around 4. The previous day, when I'm saying previous day, I mean previous trading session, 7.5, 5 million, 12.9, 17.4, 12.2. But take a look into the volume ratio, which means it's part of the total volume itself. So volumes have been actually drying up. It's one of the lowest volumes it recorded on Friday. But you still had 9 million in short volume, raising up the short volume ratio to 55.57, one of the highest I've seen lately. So what does that mean? It means that more than half of all the shares traded were on the short volume on Friday. And that in result really dropped the stock price fast. And in that sense, I think that's a definition of a short attack. If that's not it, I don't know what is. But it's definitely looking like the shorts have won that battle, and they continued to beat it down until it was down around 1609. Now, the good thing is that since it dropped more than 10%, there is a short sale rule that will occur on Friday and will not end until the end of the day on Tuesday. So the short sale rule basically restricts the short selling, etc., but doesn't always prevent it in that sense. But it's still, that doesn't mean they can have cover, but it's going to restrict the short selling on Tuesday. And so that gives you a good update relating to short selling situation here that is happening. Now, from institutional buyers, they still remain bullish for the big part of it. We don't see much selling or almost at all in the last month or so, the last 30 days. Nothing really to report on from insiders. And it does appear that the general public seems to be bullish about this one from the retail perspective. A bunch of people have been highlighting a little bit closer towards the short interest, but it's definitely an interesting thing to see happening in real time for a stock. Now, before moving on forward, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to subscribe on the bottom right corner and turn on your bell notification button for this channel. And don't forget to drop a like. And if you would like to talk to us, there's a totally free Discord channel or server in the description below. You can get to chat. It's a very friendly channel there. We're not upselling you anything. It's totally free. So that's that. We get to see that, well, perhaps is this going to get a short squeeze? Well, the answer is probably not, because these short attacks happen in, and the only way that short squeeze can really occur if the short float is higher than, let's say, 30%. Now, with 55% short volume on the last day, that could be possible, but you need high volumes in the other direction. You can't have a majority short selling and try to win with a minority longers. It's kind of a balanced equation. So it would be very interesting to see in the next few days, but this is definitely one to blame on the shorts, and I usually tell you not to blame the shorts in that sense, but this is as clear as day that the short selling has probably caused this in the first place, because there's no bad news. There's no rumors in that sense. So that's definitely an interesting one. Let's move on towards technical analysis. Now, on the 1 month, 1 day perspective, we're starting to see that the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA. Now, that's a very bullish indicator in that sense. Between the two, there's something called the trading action zone. and the trading action zone is where most positive reversals usually occur. The current price point is just right below the trading action zone, but it has a good chance of entering that trading action zone as well back in. And if it does, it can easily see a reversal like it did previously. Now, the ADX, which is the average directional index, is currently above 51.15. And above 50, you need to start worrying about a negative reversal or a pullback. And you get to see, well, that already justifies this one as a pullback, so we don't need to worry about this more because we're already there. Now, in terms of willing percent R, you're looking into it being highly oversold. Willing percent R is very similar to the relative strength index, also known as the RSI. Now, when we're saying oversold, highly actually oversold, it means that in momentum or an equilibrium situation, you're going to have the momentum shift to the buyers, getting in more buyers in. And if that's the case, with supply and demand, usually the price goes higher. On the MACD, though, it's gone negative into a negative reversal, and it doesn't only just pinpoint a negative reversal, it could be also accumulation. So the best part of this is it can accumulate for a few days, very similar to what happened before, and then reverse. And in terms of momentum, it's still positive, so that's again a positive thing you're looking at. The stochastic fast and stochastic slow both are dipping a bit downwards, signaling in be careful of where the next support actually does lie. And on the Bollinger Bands, which is a momentum volume bands, on the top you're looking at 866 and in the bottom 328. Now on the moving average bands, you're looking, this one is expected to trade at 657 on the top, 597 in the middle, and 537 in the bottom. Now, Fibonacci retracements shows you key supports and resistance levels. And the reason why I'm showing you is because Fibonacci's retracements are used by high-frequency traders as well. So on the support part, the next support is at 531. Below there, 424, and below there, 263, or 293, my bad. And resistances, you're looking into 637, 788, and 980. Now, let's start taking a look into significant support levels. So significant support levels on a price line action, the next very strong one is at 516. Above there, or below there, my bad, 468, below there, 444, below there, a very strong one at 403, and a very, very critical one at 327, below there, 304, and then going down to 274, 237, and then 195, then down to 148. Significant resistances, however, we're getting to see one at 557, next, 589, next 614, going upwards to closer to around 654, and then next to 705, going upwards to 724, and then upwards to 796, going towards 849. And then comes to the question to Ed, what do you actually think is going to happen here? Now, in terms of the historical price points, this doesn't look good, but we're going to ignore everything that's occurred before. And currently, we're seeing that it does have high volatility, specifically as well relating towards post-April. It went really parabolic. And what it's looking like to be that is the shorts are really going in and attacking this one around 55% of the entire volume on Friday. And so what I really anticipate here is going to happen is if this takes attention with a lot of people, so if this video, for instance, reaches out to a lot of people start realizing that there's high short interest in that in the last day, and people start sharing that information, retail has a history of pushing and buying just to basically stick it to the shorts. Now, I don't recommend that you do go ahead and buy just for that. Because again, I'm just saying hypothetically that's probably what might happen if people understand that the short interest is incredibly high on this one. But I haven't dealt with a lot of stocks where the short interest was the main primarily reason without news, where it's actually dropping fast, but I'll be very cautious if it does drop, I would say, below that 436 level, and the next support level is at the 505 and again the 531. And these are critical levels, but I do understand what the company's trying to do. They're loaded on cash. They're a pretty good company in itself on research and development, and it's a little bit of a double sword edge to try to understand whether this one will start to bounce soon or not. And my expectation is that it's going to continue to drop until it accumulates probably around the 450, etc. And then from there on, it might get back some attention. So what do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you're still here on this video, make sure to drop down below and join our Discord. We have a lot of different things going on, including, for instance, members that gives picks for free. It's not pump and dumps, we just things we think about, swings, etc. We also have really exciting bots. You can actually use those ones. For instance, we're just testing out this bot, for instance, that gives you Fibonacci resistance points, activities, etc. And we have a bunch of free things, totally free. We run on tips here, and you can ask me questions, suggest stocks, etc. It's a really nice community that has been growing up very fast at a very good rate, and it's totally free. If you would like to join that one, feel free to do so in the description below, and have a wonderful day.